There's so many maybe companies out there advertising as a property management, but sorry to say, they're shit. I want to add one thing here for brokers. They need to understand it's not their job to manage the property. Your role is to get the tenant, get the perfect price based on the market, sign the tenancy contract, and hand over the keys.
Just imagine you have a property manager. He's just gonna arrange the quotes.
Yeah.
He's gonna go as per the signed tenancy contract, make sure everything is done, and he'll be like, James, there was an issue. Let's fix. Sorted.
Yeah. Here's my beer. I'm on the beach. I've got a property manager. I look at it and I think, carry on drinking. Here on the other hand, I think, fuck. I put my beer down and my beer's getting warm. And I'm thinking, shit, what do? I'm walking around, right? That's typically the situation, right? Welcome everybody to another episode of the J2 Hub podcast. And today we have a very special show. It's a 3-person podcast. And we're going to be talking about a few things. One of the things we're talking about is expansion to Veer Sant Real Estate. The other thing we're talking about is another sector of the business that we've introduced to Veer Sant, which we've been looking to do for quite a while. And I think the third thing we're going to talk about is general expansion with the company, how real estate companies operate out there, goods, bads, do's, don'ts, all of that stuff. But, you know, our podcast is always a freestyle conversation. So, look, here we go. First of all, Benny, thank you so much for joining me.
Morning, James. Thank you for having me.
And Trevor, thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
You can see how impromptu our podcasts are because Ruby's calling me from the office with no respect to think there's a podcast going on. Anyway, so we've got a third member to the team.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
So if anybody who doesn't know, we've been chasing Trevor for a long time, right?
It's been 2 years, I think.
You know, he's like that girl that you want to date that doesn't want to date
Well, if he
you.
was a girl, he was accepted 2 years ago. It was like you had 4 or 5 dates until now.
Yeah. But he's like that girlfriend, right? That you're chasing like step by step, and she's like, "No, I'm not quite interested." Then you keep working on her, But yeah, it was a long time coming. But I'll let you go into that, man. I'll let you explain why we were chasing Trevor.
We've been in this market for a long time. Like in real estate, for me, it's been like 5 years, Dubai 15 years. I had many experiences with property management as an investor myself. And when we started together in the last company, so I remember we closed the first deal together on a 3 bedrooms in Marina. And the hard work he did on that property to manage that property, from like everything from the cleaning at first, from the maintenance, from screening the tenants, everything from A to Z, it took the headache from me as a broker and from the owner.
Yeah.
So it was a headache-free property, although that property was full of headache. Like I remember 1 year we rented that property 3 times because there was always an issue with the property. So from there, because I had previous experiences.
Hey, who was the developer?
The mark.
Okay.
So, because I had previous experiences with property management, I was like, look, there's no one in this field better than him.
Yeah.
And at that time, you were working for someone else and with someone else. You were not managing a team. It's like, this guy is capable of having a team to manage. We learned together, then he joined another company before joining us, and then finally he decided to join us. But I'm sure like he can manage a team of 50 property management people, consultants. He's doing well in conveyancing. And it took him a long time to decide to come and join us, but he's finally here.
So look, guys, I think first of all, before we go over to Trevor, everybody wants to invest in property, right?
Yeah.
Somebody wants to buy a property, they want to buy an investment property, but no one really thinks that what happens afterwards, once the property is handed over, how does somebody actually take care of my property? You know, this is a big investment for people. This is not like you're going to buy a chicken mandi or a grilled piece of chicken and you're done. This is something that you've put your hard-earned life savings into. And we always talk about the importance of how important it is to protect your investment and protect your tenant and protect what's going on in your property. But I think still, to this day, a lot of investors and landlords don't understand that is really crucial part of your business. So I'm not going to explain property management. I'm going to hand it over to Trevor and let Trevor explain to the listeners and everybody what is property management and, you know, why is it so important?
Thank you for having me, James. And
pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
I mean, yeah, it was a long time coming for sure. But then I think the timing's always right? So, I mean, specifically when the timing that we joined, we just went on a bang straight up.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the timing always. And if you're going to go into property management, I mean, it's something that I really like to do, honestly, because like, for example, when you're doing something, you need to do it with like a certain process. Now, even the same thing comes to property management as well. Now, currently, whenever someone rents out the property, they just wash their hands off. The broker just washes their hands off. But then the landlord doesn't know the rules and regulations, how to protect themselves. That's where we come into the picture for sure. So, for example, let's say, let's talk about the process from the start. Like when we are renting out the property, the broker normally rents out to whoever they want.
Yeah.
Technically, that's how it works. They don't check the background of the tenant, see if the tenant can afford the property, what's going to happen if the check bounces, all those factors. We start right before the property gets rented out. So that's where actually property management technically starts. But then most of the people are not aware of these kind of factors because, you know, check bounces are common right now in Dubai.
Yeah.
People can't, technically, not everyone can afford properties. But then they do give multiple checks and then get landlords in trouble. And end of the day, the broker's role is just close the deal. And then he washes the hands off. So property management comes into this picture technically from that point onwards. And after that, how are we going to protect the landlords? The next step is making sure the property is protected. For example, the maintenance and everything that could happen during the property time period. Imagine you're in a holiday completely, James, for example, you're in Bali, and then you're getting 10 calls that the AC is not working. How are you going to handle that? Just imagine you have a property manager and he's just going to arrange the quotes.
Yeah.
He's going to go as per the signed tenancy contract, make sure everything is done, and he'll be like, James, there was an issue, it's fixed, sorted.
Yeah. See, coming from the UK, I understand how important this is. If you haven't got your own maintenance team, I mean, I don't have any of my properties under management, but I have a team that can go in and do it. I do actually tell a lie. I do have a manager who looks after all of the properties, so technically he is a property manager. But I think what you just said there, if I'm sitting on the beach and my phone's going, I get anxious when a UK tenant rings me. I had one yesterday. Ironically enough, the washing machine's not working. You know, what the fuck do I do? I'm here.
Exactly.
So my manager went there. He looked at it. He goes, I've had a quote to fix the washing machine. He goes, it's not worth it. He goes, get online, order it. He goes, but when you order the washing machine, he goes, don't be a tight ass. Pay the £25 for it to be unboxed. Pay the £25 for the old one to be taken out. And pay the £25 for the new one to be installed. He goes, it's fucking simple, yeah? He goes, and fill in the 10-year guarantee with the thing so that if something happens, you can claim on the parts. This is a property manager telling me this. I never fill in the 10-year guarantee. 3 years down the line, when I want to claim, they say, oh, day one, did you fill in the guarantee? I say, no, sorry, you can't claim. You think, you know, but your property manager's telling you that. So exactly. I understand the importance, but I think, Trevor, what you're saying is like, back to that point about the AC, if I didn't have any cover as a landlord and I get that phone call, what do I do?
That's the thing. The next step the landlord's going to do is he needs to Google search, find different contractors, pay them, and at the same time these contractors charge a call out fee just to go and do an inspection as well. So just imagine they do an inspection. If you're not happy with the quote, again you have to send out another contractor, another call out fee,
150 dirham each time they're going for the inspection.
And then just imagine each time it's an uncomfortable situation for the tenant as well. I mean, his AC is not working, and then you're having multiple contractors going down to the property on different days, and it just gets extended.
Yeah.
Because you're not happy with the quotation. So you have a property manager who's going to send the contractors, get you 2 quotes, going to check the quotations and see, okay, James, this is the best one. We've checked everything. You have that trust on us, and we'll just proceed with the work. Yeah. It's just all straightforward end of the day.
So there's 2 situations I see. Let's just picture me as a landlord sitting on the beach in Bali, having a nice cold beer. No, forget Bali, we'll say Sri Lanka. A nice cold lion beer on the beach. I get a call from the tenant saying aircon's messed up. Okay, on this side, I'm covered, so I just message Trevor. Well, they won't even message me.
Exactly. I want to add here, they won't even message you. They have an app, so they'll go in there. Who has access to the app? You and the property manager.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what's the situation, what's the issue. So you're gonna receive an email or a WhatsApp from the team that, hey James, there was an issue in the building.
Yeah.
We send the contractors. These are 2 quotes. This is what we think is the best. Will you approve it? This is what you need to do.
So let me
That's
go
all.
back to my scenario. So here's my beer. I'm on the beach. I've got a property manager. I look at it and I think, carry on drinking. Here on the other hand, I think, fuck. I put my beer down and my beer's getting warm. And I'm thinking, shit, what do? I'm walking around, right? That's typically the situation, right? Okay. Yeah. In layman's terms, you know, if you haven't got a property manager and you're sitting on a beach, chilling, drinking beer, your beer's going to get warm. Simple as.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. And Trevor, how much... let me start by saying, how difficult do you find it to convince a landlord that they need this service?
Well, it depends from landlords to landlords. For example, if it's a landlord who's had an experience with the property before, then he knows the hassle he has to face. So he's not going to be a tough client. He's just going to immediately sign up and he'll be like, sign me up on board. That's what he's going to say for sure.
Yeah.
But then if it's like a new first-time investor, these guys sometimes think that, oh, okay, I need to do everything by myself. I want to have like hands-on. For example, we recently had a client who wants to create a WhatsApp group between him and the tenant and us. And then we were like, so why do you need a property manager then? Like, if you're going to be there to have handle the conversations with the tenant, you don't need a property manager. So technically, we are going to give the landlord the authority that he needs to have, and we be the ones who are working on behalf of him. So the tenant reports only to us. We are the main point of contact for you. We sort out the issue, streamline it, and we just give you, like, if it is something that is needed to be handled or we need your approval, that's when we reach out.
Okay.
So landlords need to get educated on this kind of sites, because they need to understand the value that we are bringing here. Sometimes they question about our fees as well. We should honestly, it's the fees that we are charging. For example, you don't even get a maid at that price point.
Yeah. It's very. It's not
you don't even
expensive.
get a maid. That's the annual charge we charge. So just imagine you have a certified property manager who's globally certified.
Yes.
You have a certified inspector who is also globally certified, and you have a team who's going to be handling your property 24 hours. Whenever you want, you can reach out. Any maintenance problems, you can reach out. Your eyes and ears in Dubai, and then they're questioning about the prices.
Yeah.
So these kind of clients, sometimes, it's a bit tough to explain to them.
Let me add something on those prices. Imagine you have an issue with the tenant. The tenant is not paying the rent. So someone has to go to rental dispute center, open a case. Let's put aside all the maintenance issue we have. We've got the tenant. He's not paying. 1 month, 2 months. You gave him 2 weeks already based on the contract. And he's not paying now. So if you don't have a property management, what do you need to do? Come here. If, for example, you're staying in the UK.
Yeah.
Get a ticket. Come here. Go to the court. File the case. How much it's going to cost you?
Well, let's say the ticket costs you £700.
Only.
Then you're here for a week.
You have to
Hotel.
stay in a hotel.
Another
A
700.
week. Best case is a week.
Okay, wow. So it could be 2 weeks.
Well,
Even more.
Technically, I want to add to that. Before he opens the case, he needs to send out a notice to the tenant as well.
Yeah.
So imagine he needs to do 2 trips.
Exactly.
So the first trip, you come to Dubai, send out the notice. Then 30 days later, you go again to the court to open the case based off the first notice that you just sent. So just imagine 2 round trips to UK and back, and then you also have the hotel stay, all these expenses added, and then we just charge a small amount compared to that.
It's nothing. It's not even like, I think maybe 1 trip to Dubai, comparing the price.
Do you find there's certain demographics that hate property management? Like certain communities, certain people? Well, let's be open. We'll talk about it. Let's say what the Indians like.
Oh yeah, so the Indians like to have a hands-on experience for themselves. Like they want to get their hands dirty.
Okay.
But then after that, eventually, I do have a lot of Indian clients, because the thing is, they have gotten their hands dirty, and
their hands have been
like,
too shitty.
Exactly. And then they'll be like, "Oh no, man, I'm not gonna handle this anymore." And they just, you know what, Trevor, take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just wash their hands off after that.
Yeah.
So the Indians are the ones who have the initial experience where they have to go through shit.
Yeah.
But then after that, they'll be like, okay, they understand the value of property management.
Yeah, yeah. And is there any people that you just work with that straight away say yes? Like, there's not even questioning it.
The Europeans.
Europeans,
Yeah.
okay.
Because the thing is, they know the concept of property management.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the same time, they also understand the fact that they don't know all the rules and regulations here in Dubai, right? So they want someone who knows everything, someone who they can trust at the same time to handle everything. So sometimes when they see our experience and that we know what we're talking about, they'll be like, okay, sign me on board.
Yeah, sure.
I want to add one thing here for brokers, agents who are handling, renting out the properties. They need to understand it's not their job to manage the property. Like, I'm always telling this to my agents, to our agents in the company, that guys, your role is to get the tenant, list it up there, get the perfect pictures, get the perfect price based on the market, get the tenant, sign the tenancy contract, and hand over the keys. Once you do the handover, you need to make sure that the property is in perfect condition, and it's mentioned everything in the additional terms and condition. Once you hand over the key, is not your responsibility to manage that unit. This is what broker doesn't understand. They have to explain this to the owners as well. That, hey, look, my job is to rent out your property. Once it's rented, here is a property management.
Yeah.
You want to sign the contract with them, do it. Not, it's your responsibility to manage the property.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's going to help the brokers a lot. I'm going to talk about the broker part here, to close more deals and hand it over to property management. Because every time, imagine the tenant calling the broker, because even the tenant thing is a broker job to handle everything in that unit. But it's not. So that part is also important for the brokers. Like when we're talking about the demographic of the client, it's important for them to explain why they need property management and what is property management. For example, in Iran, I have clients signing up with Trevor within a day.
Yeah.
And in Iran, we don't have property management. People don't understand the value of property management. But when you explain that, hey, look, if you got a tenant doesn't pay, they do this. If you've got a maintenance issue, they do this. You have an app, you have access to it. You're sitting in Iran. You don't have a bank account in there. You want to see in the app what rent has been paid.
Yeah.
We get POA sometimes from the clients who doesn't have a bank account here. So we are able to receive the rent in the company account. And they want to track this.
Yeah, of course.
They can see everything in there. So demographic is important, but brokers are also very important here, how to explain the value of property management to the owners.
No, I agree with you. And look, it's a pretty, how can I say it? You've got to be of a certain mindset to be doing property management, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on. I've noticed it. I mean, Trev's office is right next to ours, and they're always busy. Like, they're always doing something. The phone's going, this is going. I mean, like, what attracted you to it, Trevor? Because to me, when I look at it, I think, man, all Trevor does is deal with headaches every day. Like, major fucking headaches, right?
And he's always smiling.
Yeah, problems. This guy's got this, but then he's got like so much stuff going on. I mean, what attracted you to?
So honestly, how would I even say it? Even I sometimes question. There are days I question, why did I even get into this?
Yeah.
Like there have been days, obviously, but then I mean, you could say that the fact that the trust factor I just noticed in property management is a bit higher compared to sales, because the thing is the trust factor that you're building with these landlords, the reputation that you're having with these landlords, it's almost like we technically become family members, you could say, because they trust you to that extent that, let's say, if they're going to do anything in the future, they always consult you.
Right.
If they want to sell the property, if they want to buy a new property, and at the same time, if they say like, oh, Trevor, do you think we should take a mortgage out of this property? They would ask your opinion first, because that's the amount of trust they have with you. We've had some landlords who have given us our bank accounts as well. Their bank accounts here, we've got the passwords and everything, because that's how much they trust us.
Right.
Yeah, just to handle their funds and everything, and make the payments on time. Because when you give that kind of a level of service, a standard of service, they expect only from you every single thing afterwards.
Yeah. You've held their hand so well.
Correct.
That I understand.
And they have many owners and landlords. They don't even want to take the deposit. They're like, Trevor, keep the deposit in your account. If there's any maintenance, pay it from there.
Yeah.
So you see properties rented for like 500K. There's 50,000 dirhams sitting in the account as a deposit. That's how much they trust it. They don't even want to receive it in their account.
Yeah, but Trevor, would you say it's fair to say that I think you're one of those people that really see the long-term value in a client. You don't just see them as a property management client. I think you briefly answered it there where you said they'll ask you about this, they'll ask you about that, they'll ask you about this. Like, I think Trevor really sees it as a long-term play, not just a let me sign him up for a year and hope he comes back the following year.
It's like a long-term vision and not a short-term gain, you could say.
Yes.
In terms. So even I wanted to add another point, like for the brokers as well. Just imagine you have to go on holidays, you have to do your own personal life, but then sometimes they stay in the queue, banking, checks for these landlords as well, which is going to cost a lot of time. And imagine they're on vacation and the check is due. Who's going to bank the check for them? The check is at home, and then the check gets delayed. You're going to have a bad reputation in front of your landlord. Now, imagine a property management company is going to be handling every single thing for you.
Yeah.
And the brokers just need to also, trust the client, is well looked after, and pass it over. It's as simple as that.
True. That's like, yeah. I gave you properties as a landlord. I gave you properties as an agent, and both of them, like when I give him the property as a broker, I'm like, okay. Suddenly, all the headaches and pressure is gone. Gone. Even if it's a brand new property just handed over. If there is an issue, those are the worst. Like, depending on the developer, of course. But those are the worst because it's under warranty. You have 1 year. If something happened on the month of 11, okay? And developer and the contractor from the developer, they want to keep delaying it. Because they want your warranty to be expired. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we had this issue. So if you're not aware of the rules and regulation, your warranty going to get expired and you have to pay for it. Yeah. And if it's a major thing, it's going to cost you 10,000-15,000 dirham to fix it.
Yeah.
So these guys know the rules, know the regulation. They will make sure that everything will be done before the warranty expires.
Yeah.
If I'm the one who sold the property and rented out the property, the landlord expects me to handle this as a broker. But I can't. Because I'm not aware about the rules that much that these guys are aware of. Because they're deep into it.
Deep in the shit.
I mean, true. Even like just as Benny said, before the warranty expires, on the 10th month, we go for an inspection. We ask the tenant, because the warranty is going to expire, we need an inspection on the 10th month.
See?
We go over there, we check the property, and we will escalate it to the developer, whatever that needs to be fixed. So that, you get the maximum use of that warranty.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not having a warranty just to get it wasted, right?
No, I think you're right. Like, because with a new build property in the UK, we say it takes time for the building to settle, right?
True.
The plaster, the stonework, all of the pipes, everything needs to settle.
The cracks gonna start showing.
Exactly.
On the
So
walls
the fact that Trevor and the team goes in, this is another really good point for an investor that, you don't want your property looking tired after so long. When all of the floors are occupied and people are there, there's weight there, the floors there, people are treading, things are going to start to shift. And these guys are going in to make sure to check that it hasn't shifted like too much,
True.
So again, I didn't know that point. I didn't know that you guys go in at the 10th month to do this. That just goes to show that it's not just about signing you up. There's a real long-term process in this.
And imagine you've bought a property for like whatever, 2 million, 3 million, 4 years ago. Now that property value is 6 million. So you want to make sure you keep that value.
Yeah, of course.
When you're selling it. And to add one more thing for the brokers, I just remembered, whenever I'm renting out a property, I'm renting it out as a managed property.
You don't even advertise it as a...
Managed property, yeah. And you always get depends on the price of that property. If it's an apartment or a townhouse, you always get 5-10% higher. Because it's a managed property. Yeah. And if you know how to explain it to the tenant or the leads coming to you that, look, it's managed, they're going to ask, what does it mean? It means you don't have any headache. You don't need to chase the broker. You don't need to chase the landlord. There is a dedicated team for you. So if there's an issue with the washing machine, if there's an issue with the AC, you just go through the app. You raise a request for the maintenance. And they're going to be there within 1-2 working days.
Yeah. No, that is really, really good. I mean, how... so, look, there's a lot of companies that don't have property management, right? And I know one of the things that Trevor and the team offer is PropSure or whatever it is directly for other agencies. Trevor, how can you guys, say we've got brokers watching this right now, which we probably have. Hello. But these brokers are leasing experts. You know, all they do is renting, because you meet some brokers that are just killers on leasing. You know, they're just rental. How can this service help those brokers, or your white label service? How can the white label service help those brokers? Or how can your white label service help other agencies that don't have this department?
Okay, so basically we've got 3 departments, 3 specialized services that we offer to brokers and clients. One is property management, which we were discussing. The next one is snagging. And then the third one is conveyancing. So a typical myth is some of the brokers, they assume that if they're going to refer us a client, then the client becomes ours. They just get into that mentality and then they just stop referring and they want to do everything by themselves. So just to get it out there, like when you refer a client to us, we would be signing an official document with you guys, a contract, where it states that the client is exclusively yours. We're just going to provide only the service for them. That's it. So technically speaking, that is something that we can work out. And in terms of property management, let's say you're going to refer a client to us and you want to do the leasing, you're completely able to do the leasing while we manage the property aspect only. And if the client changes his mind and decides to sell the property, we'll tell, okay, get in touch with the so-and-so person. He's going to be the one who's going to help you sell the property again.
True.
Same goes for snagging. You just want us to do the snagging inspection only. We will send our certified inspector and he's going to do a complete inspection and get the stuff done from our side, while they are just going to be renting out or selling whatever they want to be done. And just like that for the conveyancing part as well. So how we handle conveyancing is we have a buyer, we have a seller. So they would be giving us the details of these clients, and we will be doing the transfer for these clients. That's it. We just stop at the transfer, we do the documentation, get the NOCs done, we go to the trustee office, do the transfer, and we're just going to give the commission, collect it from the buyer or the seller, and give it back to the broker. That's our job. We're not going to take clients. So there'll be an exclusive contract that will be signed between us and their companies as well, so that we can do these services for them.
Yeah.
You already have a couple of agreements in place with the other real estate companies as well.
So that's good. So their client remains their client at all times. Yeah, because I think this is another fear that people have, that, I'm going to hand over Mr. Watson's details to Trevor and Mr. Watson becomes Trevor's. It's not like that. You know,
Exactly.
that always remains your client. Okay. So, Trevor, you talked about snagging. We all know what snagging is, but again, for the listeners, can you just tell us what snagging is and how important snagging is in kind of like when you're taking on your own apartment?
Yeah. So in plain terms, like let's say an off-plan property comes up for handover, what we do is we send out an inspector and he's going to document every single issues that he can see, and at the same time he uses specialized equipment to check this stuff as well. So sometimes before the handover, some clients, they go and they do the snagging by themselves, but then it's just that they do just a complete visual inspection. What they see.
Like, that looks pretty.
Correct. But they don't see what's inside the sink. They don't see if there's hollow tiles. They don't see if the AC has an issue. Because we do a complete thorough inspection, document every single thing, and then we give it back to the developer and tell them, listen, this stuff needs to be fixed. You just fix it and then we'll proceed to take the handover. So let's say the developer comes up after 30 days. That's a typical time like they take to fix the issues. So we do another inspection, which is called de-snagging. The initial inspection, we compare it with this report and see if they fixed all the issues. Then we advise the client, take the handover. Now, why this is needed? Because from the day you sign that handover form, your warranty starts. So why do you need to pay for something that is not given in a good condition?
Yeah,
and some things are not covered in that warranty. So when you do the snagging, if there is a crack in a tile, if there is an issue with the, facade or cabinets, whatever, you only can fix it during the snagging process. Once you get the keys, it's all your responsibility.
Yeah, you've basically taken ownership, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
So you guys are almost like an insurance policy. So let's say somebody spent, 10 million on a 3-bedroom apartment. and they've taken handover of this apartment, and all they've done is a quick visual. 2 months in, they realise, shit, the floor tiles are cracking because they're hollow. You know, there's not enough grout on the back. It's starting to crack. Now, if you spent $10 million or dirhams on something and the tiles are cracking within the first month, you're going to think, fuck, man, this is a shit developer. Now, let's say the shower stops working or there's a leak or the aircon's... One of the ones I heard was the aircon was wired around the wrong way, like it was blowing out hot air. And then because the person took the property on, he accepted it, he had to fix it himself.
Sure.
You know? So am I right in saying it's almost like you guys are like an insurance policy? Like you are fully... So you got the tenant, so you got the owner, you got the developer. You guys are here just to make sure that the owner, you're working for the owner to make sure that whatever they're being handed over and delivered is perfect.
Yeah, 100%. I like the term insurance policy for sure.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I mean, it's not just with the developer, it also affects with the tenant as well.
Yeah.
Now, for example, you don't have a proper inspection, a move-in inspection report done before the tenant moves into the property. And then the tenant moves in, trashes the place up. I've seen some trashed up places, James. I'm telling you. And
does that happen here?
oh, it happens. It's
Wow.
pretty common. It is
Wow.
pretty common. But then the thing is, if the tenant knows that you have a managed company, it tends to happen very less.
Okay.
But so, coming back to the point where if there's properly evidence document that this is the condition the property is given to you, then the landlord legally has the right to hold the deposit back if, for example, generate some quotations and stuff and hold the deposit back if the property is given given in the same condition.
Right.
But let's say you have no reports, nothing, and then you say, oh, you trashed my place, I'm going to hold the deposit. The tenant files a case at RDC, the landlord will lose it.
Wow.
Because there's nothing documented, there's no evidence for you.
Mm.
This is why the move-in inspection is very important. You need to do a move-in mode inspection because that also shows to RERA and Rental Dispute Center that you are, as a landlord, are following guidelines which are given by them.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that. So am I right in saying like moving inspections and snagging, you do that all on the application as well?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it generates a report?
Exactly.
Okay. Because I'm very familiar with snagging because I used to build new build houses in the UK or projects. So I would always hold, a large portion of money at the end before it was paid to the developer or the contractor. And I would do this based on snagging. And I remember my developers used to hate me because I had a survey report app that I used to use. And it was literally, I'm walking around taking a picture, that's not right, circle. That's not right, circle. I remember one of my biggest reports was 65 pages with over 1,000 points. But that particular contractor thought, you know what, I'm going to forfeit the last $10,000 because it's not worth me going back to fix all those tiny little things. It was great for me because I found another contractor who fixed it for 4,000. So I was quids in. But the fact is that we used to go to that level to make sure that the contractors perfectly delivered stuff. Now, I think anybody who invests in Dubai, you see the pretty brochures, you see the lovely floor plans, you see the beautiful visuals, and it's like, oh, I can't wait, I'm going to have my dream home. It's going to be sexy as hell and all of this. But, the ironic thing is, or the irony is that there will always be something wrong in an apartment. I've even seen some of the best developers. If you've got a sharp eye, like coming from construction, I've got a sharp eye. I know B knows that because he hates me when I was walking around the new office. I was picking up on faults. But I think every developer is going to have faults. And I always say to my clients, they say, look, you put your trust in me when you bought this thing. So for me, it's very, very important that when this thing hands over, it's perfect for you, And you're going to pay a few thousand dirhams for somebody to do a snagging report for you. What the hell, man? What's wrong with you? This guy, one little point that he picks on could save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dirhams, right? Yeah. I said, just think of it like car insurance. You might have car insurance on your car for 10 years and you never use it. And then there's that one time when someone hits you in the rear end. You've got a brand new car that's worth 450,000 dirhams or something. Your car's written off. You've got insurance, you're covered.
Yeah. 100%.
Imagine if you didn't have insurance.
Exactly. And one more thing, landlord thinks, okay, I don't need property management right now. Once I go to sorry, that shit, then I'll sign up with them.
But it doesn't work like that.
It might help them, but they don't understand that, okay, by that time you already lost 5, 10, 15,000 dirham, whatever. So you can save that 5, 10, 15,000 dirham on signing a property management on a first day before you send out the contract.
Yeah.
Because that contract is valid in RDC, that contract is valid in RERA, Dubai Land Department. So once you are in that shit, you cannot actually you can sign with property management, but they have to follow the same contract you send out to the tenant.
Yeah.
So make sure before you're renting it out, you have proper contract. Like if you go to the real estate company, which doesn't have property management department, the additional terms and condition is like 2 pages, 1.5, 1 page, depends on the company. For them, it's 5-page additional terms and condition. Protecting tenant, protecting landlord, both. So it's a win-win situation. When the tenant knows what he's signing on, okay, if there's a maintenance, what maintenance is I as a tenant have to take care of it? If it's a landlord, what part of maintenance I as a landlord has to take care of it? This all has to happen before you actually rent out the property or take handover. Like insurance, you said, you don't have a health insurance. Then you
That's
break
a
your
very good
leg.
example.
Yeah, you
That's a
break
very
your
good
leg.
example,
Okay,
yeah.
you go to the hospital. If you got the insurance on the same day, the insurance will not accept it. The hospital will not accept it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And I've seen that. I've seen that to people, like, they think, 11,000 dirhams a year or 5,000 dirhams a year, I'm not going to get the insurance.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes when you've got a really minor thing wrong with you and you go to the hospital, the first thing they ask you, insurance? And you say no, they're like, yeah. You know, and you can walk out. I mean, our housemaid had a cut. Me being lazy, I hadn't put her on the insurance. 2,750 dirhams with all the medication and to stitch her up.
Just a cut.
A cut. It was a deep cut. But, you know, I'm guessing any Indian from India would have said, put a cloth around it and be done with it. But, you know, we're a little bit more serious than that. But the fact of the matter is, when I added her to the insurance for the whole year, it was only 2,500 to add her for the whole year. And that one thing cost me that, you know?
Yeah.
And if she gets ill, I've got to treat her like a human being, right?
True.
There's a year that she might not get ill, but then there's a couple of times where she might get ill. She needs to have a checkup. She needs to have this done. And when the co-payment's like 50 dirhams or 100 dirhams, you think...
Yeah.
And that's exactly what property management is. It's almost like a medical insurance for your property. If something goes wrong, you know somebody's there to look after it. You know, in an ideal situation, you don't ever want to use it.
Yeah.
But you just know peace of mind is there.
It's there. And believe me, it's going to happen, like especially in older properties, like 4 or 5 years old properties.
Forget older properties. It happens in new ones.
In new ones
new
as well.
ones,
But
yeah.
I'm saying even for the new ones, let's say owner will say, okay, I'm not going to sign for the new one, which we already spoke about it. Warranty is there. So you have to do it before actually the warranty expire. For the older one, I gave him a property. How many issues it had until now?
I mean, it still has
Perfect.
issues.
Still it has issue. Look, because the building is perfect, but the building is 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
So it will come. If it
Yeah.
wasn't there 2 years ago, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Yeah, AC was broke down. The kitchen sink was fallen down without any reason. No one actually was using that, but it was just dropped.
Fallen.
I don't know. Yeah, fallen. I don't know what happened.
And we had a situation where the entire ceiling had fallen off.
Yeah.
Once.
So, with the mark again.
What was that, a leak from above and the plaster just... boom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just fell
We
through.
changed the AC motor for like 2 times, I think.
Yeah.
But again,
See, the thing is,
that's the thing.
sometimes it might not even be your fault.
Exactly.
It could be the apartment from above. And the thing about water is, when there's a leak, water only needs to find the smallest hole.
True.
And it will get through and penetrate. You know, water's a killer.
So that's why, like, people, they need to understand the value of property management. European mainly understand it. People coming from Middle East, because we never had this, we never used it. So, okay,
Yalla,
what
yalla,
the hell?
yalla.
I want to keep the 100% of my rent.
Yeah.
No, actually, you pay 5% of that rent, 6% of that rent, it's going to save you 50%.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to put the whole rent only on the maintenance.
Yeah.
Believe me, it happened.
Yeah, for
Happened.
sure. And James, I was like, you had a 65-page snag report.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Do you know that in Dubai, we've had a 200-page snag report? A 200-page.
For what, like a...
Like a villa.
For a villa, okay.
For a villa.
Okay.
But it was
Oh, I
like
can
200
guess.
page.
I can guess the developer.
Like, Benny brought the client in and we just showed the report. The report was this thick. Literally, it was the
Can we talk about who the developer was?
it was Villanova.
Oh, Villanova.
Yeah,
Okay.
at the initial stages. So when we did the initial snag and everything, it was a 200-page report we got, and the landlord paid like only 2,000 dirham. It was like a 2,000 square feet. I mean plot size, if I'm not mistaken. So we charged around a dirham per square feet. So he paid only 2,000 dirhams, but then he saved almost around 30 to 40,000 dirhams because we found that every single detail.
Wow.
That's how detailed our snag report was.
How long did it take your team to produce that report?
I mean, they had to, literally they stayed from morning 9 till around 3:30 in the evening, afternoon. They were like, entire day they were there.
Yeah.
Like every single thing. There was 2 people doing the snag. So
See, I mean, just for the listeners, like, it's not a snag, isn't something where someone goes along and just goes, ha ha ha, try to give you the money. These guys, that's 12 hours.
Yeah, you've seen videos on Instagram. Brokers are like saying, "Yeah, I'm doing a snagging for you. I'll be with you from A to Z." But when you see the video, they're doing the snagging. Oh, there is a mark on the wall. Oh, there is a crack on the top.
That is bullshit. I've
Yeah.
seen that by a lot
It's
of people. No.
10% of the snagging, of the actual snagging
Sure.
you have to do. You can, even the owner can see that.
Yeah.
But
They're the
these-
most frustrating videos where the broker's saying, "Oh, I'm doing a snagging for my." Listen, bruv, you haven't even got a fucking meter to put on the wall to see if something's leaking behind. What kind of snag are you doing?
yeah, true.
And how you want to check the temperature of AC? Just doing like this? Okay, it's cooling now. No, you have a proper machine.
Yeah, I think, look, when we set up Veer Sant Real Estate, one of the things we said very early on was that we are complete A to Z.
Yeah, one
or
stop
Z,
shop.
however you say it, yeah? And slowly along the line, at first it was just me and Benny in a tiny little office and one admin lady, you know? And then we realized one of our visions was A to Z. So we've now started to plug all of that. Like, I think eventually the next stage is to have the financing and mortgaging in-house as well,
Yeah.
and then to have all the wills and all of that, and legacy planning and inheritance planning and foundations and your tax structures and all that, because it really is like the easiest part is selling somebody an apartment, I feel. The real work starts once you've sold them that, okay? So the broker has a good relationship with the client. He spends time explaining it. But even our brokers, we educate our brokers and say, look, some of the simple things that I do for my clients is FX exchange, helping them to move money, because they can save 5 to 7% by using an FX partner.
True.
You know, and one of the things we did very recently was we took on a new FX partner because our old FX partner was just shit. You know, I'll say it clearly, he was shit. We've now resulted to saying to our FX partner, we don't want to earn anything from the FX. Like, give the client the highest possible best rate,
Yeah.
because it should be that way.
Yeah, it's a value-added service.
Yeah.
Like, as a broker, it's not just our job to sell them. We
Yeah.
have to protect them for the whole process.
Yeah. So we started saying to our brokers, it's not just about closing. Think. So number one, the lowest hanging fruit is introduce the client to the FX partner, so they're saving 5 to 7%. Then you can confidently say to your client, this price you see here for 2 million dirhams, you're going to save 5% on that by the time you move your money, right? Then the second thing you can say to the client is another simple thing, like saying, look, once this property hands over, we've got you covered, which we have got you covered. We've got you covered for the snagging. We got you covered for the property management. We got you covered for X, Y, and Z.
Even if they want to resell, convincing.
Exactly.
Have it there.
Then there's a lot of brokers that go out there and tell tenants, 70% is due on handover, you can mortgage it. Bullshit. Who's going to help you with that mortgage? Have you got a broker? Have you got a team that can help you with a 70% mortgage? Because we all know trying to get a 70% mortgage is almost unheard of. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? So we very much have a mortgage partner who can advise on day one, yes, you can get a mortgage, or no, you can't get a mortgage. You know? And then other little things by helping the client, okay, you've got a business, let's try and get you a little bit more tax efficient. Let's get you a company structure set up here. We've even got golden visa applications that have happened in less than 24 hours, you know? So I think with VNS, the whole vision was always to make it a full one-stop shop where a client just comes to us and that's it. You don't have to go anywhere else. And I think it's clear to say a lot of our clients have become very, very close friends. And for us, one of the most integral things that we wanted to integrate was property management, snagging, conveyancing, which which I'm very happy to say we have done, and
Yeah.
very
And
honoured
we've
to
got
have
the-
Trevor as a partner in that
And
section.
we've got, I think, perfect team and the property management director
Yeah.
because there's so many maybe companies out there advertising as a property management, but sorry to say, they're shit.
Yeah. So look,
They cannot they
Yeah.
cannot handle what you're doing. If the tenant called them, they're like, you deal with it.
yeah,
Landlord called them, it's not my job to do it.
yeah,
With them, I've seen landlords with you, I think 6 years,
Yeah.
5 years. They keep renewing.
yeah,
Sometimes they upgrading their package. Look, hey, now you get the POA.
yeah,
I don't want to do anything with that property. It's a pure investment for me.
yeah,
You have the POA, you get my check, you met my rental income, you take whatever. By end of the month, by end of the quarter, just pay me the remaining.
Yeah, yeah.
And they can track everything on that.
A true investor should just be about the numbers.
Correct.
Everything else should be subbed out and handled by a team. And they're a good investor because all they're looking at is what am I getting back in as a return? I'm not worried about what I'm having to outlay. What is my return? Does it work? Is it within the percentages I'm trying to achieve? If it does, let's go with it. Let's do it.
Exactly. It's like delegating to elegate is not only about business, it's
Yeah.
about the investors as well. Like, if you're making, I don't know, $100,000 a month, you don't want to keep involving in these minor maintenances things. Okay, you've got the property management. You know there is a money with them. After 3, 4, 5 months, the rents you got from it, it's a down payment for another off-plan project.
Did you
So-
just say delegate to elevate?
Elegate.
Oh. Man,
little-
this guy, he's a lyricist now. He's coming out with some rhymes.
No, but it's seriously like even for the investor it has to be like this because in Dubai it's so easy to buy off-plan projects. Like you see, you've rented out your property for 2 years, you have enough down payment for another off-plan project.
Yeah.
If you have a property management in there, you have a POA, the money is sitting with there. You look, hey, Trev, now I have this money. Find me a project.
Yeah. Yeah.
And believe me, it's gonna make like, as we always saying, it's gonna make them a generational wealth.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
this
what
is
it
our
should
goal.
be about. Yeah.
And our job is to look after that generational of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's one of our company visions is to create our clients generational wealth. I think, look, to wrap it up, guys, because we are at the end of an hour, they go so quick.
Yeah.
But anybody watching this, if you're an investor, you're already a landlord, you've already got a property, I'm sure it's fair to say that it's been quite an educated conversation. There's a lot of brokers out there that just ring you, hello, sir, you want to buy the Mac property? Hello, sir, you want to do this? You need to be really thinking about who you're working with. Some of the terms mentioned here today, some of the things we've spoken about will show you that working with VNS, it does elevate you. It elevates you to elegate. or whatever you
Elegate
say.
to elevate.
But yeah, on a serious note, if you're looking to work with someone who's really going to take care of your investment, we got a good team of sales, leasing, and now to make it all worthwhile and all come to fruition, we got the property management that looks after your investment as well.
True.
Any last words?
I think I said enough.
You said enough,
We-
Trevor?
Trevor.
I'm good.
You good? So, you know what? I just want to lastly say, so for everybody who didn't see the value in this guy, the extreme value, shame on you. That's what I'm saying. Simple. I'm not naming any names, but shame on you. As simple
Yeah.
as that. And I'm sure we'll be back. You're probably going to see a lot more content from Trevor and his team, Martin, Rebecca, all of the guys, Dishan, actively involved in content at the moment. So you'll start to understand in small chunks what property management's all about. But thanks, guys. It's a pleasure, honor.
It was a
And,
pleasure being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us, James.
No worries.
But
No,
he has to
fine, we're
have
a
me all
team.
the time.
This one I can't get rid of him now. I think it might be a 3-person show. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. And do subscribe to our channels. Come and follow us on social media. Every one of the teams is very active on social media as well, including our content creator as well. He's quite active as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of serious content. There's some humorous content as well. And you're welcome in our new office. Come and see us for a coffee, whatever. Our door's always open. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.